Breaking news, new video showing the moment that law enforcement say the shooter who killed Charlie Kirk got away. We also have new images from the FBI of the shooter showing distinctive features on the clothing he was wearing, like this shirt with an American flag and eagle on it. Also, where law enforcement said the shooter left critical pieces of evidence as the manhunt for this killer continues into a second night. This is a breaking news edition of On the Case presented by Law&Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. Let's get to the latest information that we just learned in this news conference with Utah authorities as they continue to search for the shooter who killed Charlie Kirk earlier this week at a political event at a college near Salt Lake City. Kirk, at this event, the 31-year-old conservative influencer, was shot in the neck. It appears he bled out very quickly on stage. That video that was circulating on social media, it is just too graphic to show you here. Kirk was then rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Now, this is one of the new pieces of information that we just saw for the first time in this news conference. It is video showing the moment that the gunman escaped, jumping off of a campus building. And this is the building that law enforcement say this shooter fired with a rifle from about 200 yards away and hit Charlie Kirk. I'm going to break down this video for you in just a moment. I will show you what Bo Mason, the head of Utah's Department of Public Safety, had to say about it in just a moment. But I do want you to get a good look at these pictures as well, because these are new tonight. These are enhanced. These show the shooter on campus at Utah Valley University, and law enforcement is very clear. They want the public to see these and recognize the distinctive features on them, like that shirt with the American flag on it with an eagle. Also, the shooter was wearing a hat. They say it is a triangle logo on that hat, and he was wearing Converse shoes with white soles. Now, Charlie Kirk, just 31 years old, really rose to fame as a voice for young conservatives in the country, was very active on social media. He was at Utah Valley University, south of Salt Lake City, for his nonprofit, Turning Point USA. He was on a tour of college campuses, going from school to school and holding these political events. And Charlie Kirk was known for debating really anyone who wanted to have a conversation with him. And he was in the Q&A portion of this event when he was hit in the neck. Law enforcement say they tracked this shooter from not only just the escape, but also the moment that the shooter arrived on campus before Charlie Kirk was shot and killed. They believe that the shooter arrived just before noon, and then that one shot that killed Charlie Kirk was fired about a half hour later. And again, it came from a campus building roughly 200 yards away. Kirk was speaking outdoors in what was like an outdoor amphitheater on campus. Very vulnerable situation for him. Then, after that gunshot was fired, thousands of people who were listening to Charlie Kirk, they were running for shelter, and Kirk's security team tried to save his life, but the shooter was able to escape. Here is the head of Utah's Department of Public Safety, Bo Mason, walking us through this new video. Take a listen.
If you look up to the top left, you'll see the building where the shooter was chroned out in the top left corner. We'll go ahead and play that video, and I'll narrate as we walk through that. So here you see that the suspect ran behind that upper building. He's going to come out on the right, moves to this far right corner. As he does, he's going to climb off the edge and then drop down to the ground. As he did that, he left some palm impressions. There's some smudges, some places we're looking to collect DNA. There's a shoe imprint where we believe the suspect is clearly identified as wearing Converse tennis shoes. Again, we'll replay that again so you can get another view of that. It's important to note his black t-shirt, his black pants, and there appears to be some white on the soles of those Converse tennis shoes.
Today, Mason also described the shooter as someone who would blend in on a college campus, and you can see that in these pictures. The shooter was wearing a backpack with sunglasses and a hat. Also, it appears this shooter is of the age of college students. It's, again, unclear who this person is, and that is what law enforcement is trying to figure out. Authorities emphasize that, again, the features are very important to look at. The logo on the shirt, the Converse shoes, they do believe that the shooter left an imprint of his forearm on that building that he dropped off of. Here's what Mason said about these new pictures. Listen to this.
It's important to note his black t-shirt, his black pants, and there appears to be some white on the soles of those Converse tennis shoes. Those are all identifiable items that we're looking for. In the stills that are going to follow this, you're going to see a very distinctive t-shirt with an American flag and appears to have an eagle on it. There's also a baseball cap with a triangle on it and a pair of sunglasses. All distinctive, all things that we would ask the public to look for and try to identify if they know someone who has those items, who has been seen wearing those items. We're looking for all that information.
Law enforcement say they believe that they have the gun that was used in this attack. It was a bolt-action rifle, a high-powered rifle that was left in the wooded area that the shooter escaped to after jumping off of the building. That gun is currently with the FBI's crime lab. They're trying to pull information off of it. It's unclear who, if anybody, that gun was registered to. Utah Valley University is a school of about 45,000 students. It's 45 minutes south of Salt Lake City in Orem, Utah. And again, just the place that Charlie Kirk was speaking, this outdoor auditorium, a very, very vulnerable place. Earlier today, law enforcement was asked about the security measures for this event, and they wouldn't really say much about it, saying that that would be a conversation for a later time, as there is, of course, a major manhunt going on right now. But tonight, Utah Valley University did say that all school protocols when it comes to security were followed during Kirk's event. This is going to be a key part of this story after the manhunt is complete. Now, Utah is a state that has the death penalty. And tonight, its governor, Spencer Cox, made it clear that if and when this shooter is taken into custody, that is the punishment that this shooter will face.
More than anything, we are going to catch this person. Last thing I will just say is we've been working with our attorneys, getting everything that we need, affidavits ready, so that we can pursue the death penalty in this case, and that will happen here in the state of Utah.
The governor also said that the thousands of tips that the FBI has received in a little more than 24 hours since Kirk was killed is the largest volume it has received for a single event since the Boston Marathon bombing in 2013. The FBI is offering a reward of up to $100,000 for information that will help in bringing the shooter to justice, and anyone with information that can help in this case should call the FBI, the number 1-800-CALL-FBI. They also now have a website online as a place that you can send digital tips and information. Here's the full news conference that happened a little earlier tonight so you can hear it for yourself.
We are going to share a portion of a video and that we have of the suspect, as well as some new stills. Those have already been released, but we want to make sure that they get as much attention as possible so that we can get help from the public in tracking down this evil human being. So we're going to cue up the video right now, show that. I've asked Commissioner Bo Mason if he would narrate to you what is happening in this video.
Thank you, Governor. Bo Mason, Commissioner for the Utah Department of Public Safety. If you look up to the top left, you'll see the building where the shooter was proned out in the top left corner. We'll go ahead and play that video, and I'll narrate as we walk through that. So here you see that the suspect ran behind that upper building. He's going to come out on the right, moves to this far right corner. As he does, he's going to climb off the edge and then drop down to the ground. As he did that, he left some palm impressions. There's some smudges, some places we're looking to collect DNA. There's a shoe imprint where we believe the suspect is clearly identified as wearing Converse tennis shoes. Again, we'll replay that again so you can get another view of that. It's important to note his black t-shirt, his black pants, and there appears to be some white on the soles of those Converse tennis shoes. Those are all identifiable items that we're looking for. In the stills that are going to follow this, you're going to see a very distinctive t-shirt with an American flag and appears to have an eagle on it. There's also a baseball cap with a triangle on it and a pair of sunglasses. All distinctive, all things that we would ask the public to look for and try to identify if they know someone who has those items, who has been seen wearing those items. We're looking for all that information. Here you see the suspect after dropping off the building. He moved around across this grass area, around the parking lot. We're going to pan to the right. After he crosses the street, this is where he moves over into the wooded area. This is the video evidence that we utilize to track his movements and to locate that firearm in that wooded area following the discovery of this evidence. Good. You want to go to the stills? So here's the still photographs. I mentioned these have been enhanced. So these are slightly different than what we introduced earlier. Please pay close attention to the t-shirt. Like I said, very distinctive with that American flag and that eagle. The hat with the triangle and the sunglasses. If you'll go to the next picture, please. The backpack as well. All identifying features that we're hoping the public can help us identify and lead us to this suspect. Next picture. And again, there's a better picture of the hat with that triangle logo, and again, the t-shirt. Blue jeans, and you get a good look at those Converse tennis shoes as well. We have pushed these out, we'll continue to push these out, and we just ask for the public's cooperation through the public. The tips that have been coming in are what are giving us our next leads and enabling us to continue to further this investigation. We've had great cooperation from the public, and we're continuing to ask for that as we move forward. Thank you, and I'll turn time back over to Governor Cox.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Mason. I want to thank Director Patel and his team. It's great to have them on the ground with us tonight. We've had several briefings, and he's had an opportunity to walk the crime scene. We appreciate our local law enforcement here. Again, we have Mike Smith, who is the county sheriff here. We have all of our local chiefs of police that are here as well, all working hand in hand with the state and with the FBI as we move forward with this investigation. Now, just give you a little warning, we will not be taking any questions at this time. We're giving you the latest information we have, being as transparent with everything that we have. But I do want to share a couple things that I think are important. We cannot do our job without the public's help right now. The public has answered our call for action. So far, we've received more than 7,000 leads and tips. I would just note that the FBI hasn't received this many digital media tips from the public since the Boston Marathon bombing. This case also highlights the dedication of our law enforcement community. We have 20 federal, state, and local law enforcement partners that are working shoulder to shoulder to find the person who committed this horrific crime. With their support, we've completed nearly 200 interviews. As you're aware, as has already been reported, the FBI is offering a $100,000 reward for information leading to the identification and arrest of the person responsible for the murder of Charlie Kirk. We also continue to implore the public to support this investigation and come forward with any information. We are truly hopeful that this video and new photos will lead to even more tips. We are processing. We have an incredible team, a state and federal team working together to process those tips. We're going out in tandem to interview any potential person of interest or suspects. But we need, again, we need as much help as we can possibly get. Any videos or photos that you might have, the public, should be submitted to our digital media tip line, which is www.fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting, all lowercase. Again, that is fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting, all lowercase. You can also provide general tips about the shooting by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI. That's 1-800-CALL-FBI, or at tips.fbi.gov. This is, I would just say, this is not just a local matter here in Utah. We have people all over the country that are helping to bring this perpetrator to justice for Charlie Kirk and his family. I will just add as well that, as was mentioned, there is a lot of forensic evidence that is being processed right now at both the state lab and the federal labs, federal lab on the East Coast. So we are working in tandem together. I would also just add a word of note for those people who are spending so much time on social media. I think Charlie said it best, that when things get bad, we should put our phones down and spend a little time with our families. There is a tremendous amount of disinformation We are tracking our team, the state team, and I'm sure the federal team as well. What we're seeing is our adversaries want violence. China, we have bots from Russia, China, all over the world that are trying to instill disinformation and encourage violence. I would encourage you to ignore those, to turn off those streams, and to spend a little more time with our families. We desperately need some healing. We'll have more to say about that in the days and weeks to come. More than anything, we are going to catch this person. Last thing I will just say is we've been working with our attorneys, getting everything that we need, affidavits ready, so that we can pursue the death penalty in this case, and that will happen here in the state of Utah. Again, to the public, to those who are grieving, thank you for your prayers. I know we are feeling those prayers. I know the Kirk family is feeling those prayers as well. We pray that God will bless our nation at this very dark time. We can start healing by finding this perpetrator and holding him accountable, and we need your help to do that. Thank you.
Once again, if you have information that can help bring this shooter to justice, the number is 1-800-CALL-FBI. That will do it for this breaking news edition of On the Case, presented by Law&Crime. Subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify. I'm Chris Stewart. We'll see you next time.